So some footage has leaked of Pokémon Legends ZA running on the original Nintendo Switch 1, and unfortunately it doesn't seem to run that great. Make sure you're sticking around to the end of the video to see this footage. From the limited footage we've seen so far, it does appear that the Nintendo Switch 2 version is definitely the best way to play. Let's get into it. Before we get started with today's video, I just want to say that we are less than 100 subscribers away from hitting 4,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure you do so. It does really help us out. So Pokémon Legends ZA launches in less than 2 days. We are very, very close to launch. As I'm making this video, it is the 14th of October and the game does launch on the 16th. Very, very excited for Pokémon Legends ZA, and we're starting to see more leaks, we're starting to see more rumours, we're starting to see things slowly come out about this game, and there has been some footage come out about Pokémon Legends ZA. I'll show it in just a second. There isn't very many spoilers, it's not really spoiling anything, it's just kind of a new area in the game. But there's some new footage of the Switch 1 version. Now, I know in the trailer we've obviously seen lots of the Switch 2 version and not a lot of the Switch 1 version, and yeah, the Switch 1 version does look pretty rough. Now, when you see this footage, I'll just show it in a second, this footage is apparently from the handheld mode 720p, and yeah, there's lots of pop-in, the game doesn't look that great. There's lots and lots of pop-in, entire like shop buildings and trees are like popping into place, and obviously the frame rate appears to be 30. I'm not 100% great at like noticing what frame rates are, but it does look a lot smoother on the Nintendo Switch 2. Obviously, if you have a Switch 2, get the Switch 2 version, it's the best version to get. Obviously, the Switch 2 version is going to be better, but I don't know, some better performance would have been nice to see from Pokémon Legends ZA on Nintendo Switch 1. It's a shame it doesn't run that great. It kind of runs a little bit similar to Pokémon Scarlet and Violet. So yeah, here is the footage itself. It's from TikTok user Zarch. I'll have this all linked down below in the description. And they said this is from handheld mode, and it is apparently hitting a full 720p. Now, I don't know if there's anything like dynamic resolution, meaning that the resolution can drop depending on what's going on screen, but yeah, some of the pop-in does look really, really bad and doesn't look that great. Now, of course, the game isn't even out yet, so we could see a day one patch. They did actually put that in their caption. Their caption says, keep in mind this is without the day one patch, so if there's a day one patch, maybe this will be resolved and some of the performance issues might be ironed out with a proper release from Nintendo. Of course, this game isn't out yet, so it's very possible Nintendo could have a patch ready, or Game Freak could have a patch ready for this game the second it launches properly. So yeah, I would imagine this is maybe on a cartridge, a Switch 1 cartridge, and that cartridge could have been made months ago. It could be an older version of the game. So, and I mean, that is entirely possible. I don't know that much about the games industry, but I believe if a game is made and a physical version comes out, the physical version that is on a disc or on a cartridge is like an older version of the game, even dating back to maybe like a 2 months old. So it could have been like a late August release, or maybe like a maybe even late July version of this game, and then they've had more time to work on some patches, that kind of thing. So yeah, maybe we'll see a day one patch. There was actually an update from Centro Leaks, I talked about that the other day, about a patch for the game. Maybe there's another patch on day one that actually fixes some of these issues. We'll have to just wait and see, but yeah, unfortunately the performance does seem to be as bad, if not maybe even slightly worse, than Pokémon Scarlet and Violet. Now, one thing to consider is that this area that is shown within the clip is a pretty built up area. It's in a city, it's in an open world section, or at least it appears to be, and I know a lot of the game is going to be based in the city, pretty much all of the game is, but maybe this area is just really demanding, maybe it's a bad example, maybe not all of the game is like this, maybe all of it is, we don't know yet because we don't have the game in our hands. All we're doing is just speculating on a 30-second clip here. So, best case scenario, there is a patch on day one for the Nintendo Switch 1 and the game runs perfectly. Worst case scenario is this is just how the game is on Switch 1 and unfortunately it doesn't run that great. Now, the good thing about that is even if the Switch 1 version runs pretty bad on Switch 1 and you eventually upgrade to Nintendo Switch 2, you can always get that upgrade pack for the Nintendo Switch 2 version, and that's pretty cheap. That's like £7 or £8, I believe $10, so you know, it's not the end of the world. You can upgrade to the Nintendo Switch 2 version without having to buy a full price game. Now, you shouldn't have to upgrade your console or update or upgrade your game just to get better performance. You should expect decent performance, obviously not better than the Switch 2, but you should expect decent performance from the Switch 1. You've paid money for a game, that should still be a good product, regardless of what version of the Nintendo Switch you are playing it on. So, yeah, I can see some fans maybe potentially being a little bit upset with some of the performance here, but we'll have to just wait and see. We'll have to just wait just less than 48 hours to finally find out what this game runs like on Nintendo Switch 1. But with all that being said, everyone, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Are you buying this game on Nintendo Switch 1? Have you decided to upgrade to the Nintendo Switch 2 version? What are your thoughts on this game? Let me know all of your thoughts. What's your thoughts on the clip? Do you think that the whole game will play like that, or do you believe that just that part of the game, that area, just runs really bad and it's not reflective of the whole game itself? I'm really curious to see how this game turns out. I'm kind of interested to see if I'm going to enjoy it. From what I've seen, it definitely looks a lot better the more I've seen of it. The game has improved after every single trailer, so yeah, I'm really excited to see what Game Freak have done with what is essentially Legends Arceus' like sequel, isn't it? It's a sequel to Legends Arceus. That was a great game. I believe the game is currently sat on like 81 on Metacritic, so lots of people seem to like Legends ZA. We'll have to just wait and see. X and Y are meant to be one of the better Pokemon games, so it's great to see these games come back for Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. But yeah, with all that being said, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below, everybody. Where are you getting this game? Are you upset with some of the performance issues? Do you believe they'll be fixed for the Nintendo Switch 1? Does this make you want to go out and buy a Nintendo Switch 2 just for the better Pokemon games? We've also heard some rumours about the next Pokemon games. I believe all the Pokemon games leading up even into like 2030, so it is probably worthwhile buying a Nintendo Switch 2 because Game Freak are going to start bringing out some Pokemon games for that. So let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments below, everybody. If you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure you do so. It really does help us out. And with all that being said, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in another video. Thanks for watching, everyone.